Donald Trump and President Biden both escalating attacks this weekend at respective campaign events. The president called Trump unhinged during a private reception, saying something snapped in him after 2020. Meanwhile, his rival claimed Biden is surrounded by fascists and continued to blame him for his ongoing criminal trial. With me now is Republican strategist Susan Del Percio and former Florida Representative David Jolly, both of whom are MSNBC political analysts. Hey, guys, thank you for taking the time on Mother's Day. I appreciate that. I'm curious, David, what did you make of Biden's tone in his comments yesterday? Because it was at a closed-door event, but he appears very clearly to be on the offensive.
Yeah, and I think he's just speaking the truth. I mean, the only thing Joe Biden got wrong is that Donald Trump became unhinged after 2020. We all saw it before 2020 as well. But this is Joe Biden being blunt and speaking truth to the American people, and I think you have to in this moment. You know, we wrestle with whether or not to give equity to a Joe Biden who is running to protect democracy and a Donald Trump who is running to undermine democracy, and you really can't give equity to those two sides. And what you're seeing with Joe Biden is to call a spade, to say the former president is unhinged and he's dangerous, and I think we should hear more of that from the president.
Interestingly, Susan, Lara Trump, of course, the former president's daughter-in-law, now the RNC co-chair, was asked about the claims that Trump wouldn't accept the election results. Take a listen to this.
It's pretty obvious that Donald Trump does accept election results, even despite the fact that it was a very questionable election in 2020, because Joe Biden is unfortunately sitting in the Oval Office today. What Donald Trump has said, and I think is exactly right, is that we should have free, fair, and transparent elections.
Okay. So in the very same breath, she's saying that he accepts election results and then questions the election. So what's it mean that this is the person who's helping run the DNC? By the way, Donald Trump at his rally said, quote, radical left Democrats stole the 2020 election. That was yesterday.
Yeah, there's a few things in play here. Clearly, one, Republicans are worried about the stealing of the election claim. They saw what happened in 2022. My guess is that given some of the stories we're seeing now in 2024, Republicans know it's a vulnerability for them. But Lara Trump is nothing but a shill for her father. That's all she is. She should probably just spend her time in the recording studio because she's doing a lot more harm than good as far as being the head of the RNC. She doesn't know what the job is. She only knows what she's told to do.
So, David, the Washington Post has this new piece noting that Republicans in top-down ballot races, they're trying to stay quiet on Trump's false claims of election fraud. Have they learned their lesson, especially after the midterms? And then I guess the question is, can they continue to keep quiet?
Yeah, look, let's start with Donald Trump being the most undisciplined candidate, perhaps in all of history. Maybe a few odd exceptions, but down ballot candidates traditionally can be more disciplined, and they follow the polls and they follow the surveys. And what I would tell you is this, and it's really important actually for the Trump campaign. Look, Donald Trump sells grievance and anger. When he is selling grievance and anger about white nationalism and white angry populism, it actually works. And he could win the White House on that. He could keep some Haley voters talking about angry economic populism. But when Donald Trump is selling grievance, saying the election was stolen and I've been cheated and I'm a victim because of my relationship with Stormy Daniels and my cheating in my business records, I'm the victim in all of this, none of that works. And so what down ballot candidates know is focus on the grievance politics of economic populism. That is good for them, despite where the facts may or may not lie. But focusing on stolen election claims is a losing argument for Republicans. If you're Democrats, you hope Republicans spend every dime on that latter argument.